we must stay the course with Ukraine. In the coming weeks, the final tranche of the 49 Australian gifted Abrams tanks will arrive in Ukraine. During the course of this year, more than 200 Australian personnel have been involved in the deployment of our E7 Wedgetail and the training of the Ukrainian armed forces. And since the beginning of this conflict, we have provided $1.5 billion of support to Ukraine, and I can announce that very shortly we will be announcing our next package of support for Ukraine. Because what is at stake here is the global rules-based order. And there are not many orders, there is one. And it is as relevant to us here in the Indo-Pacific as it is to those who are in Eastern Europe. Now, over the course of the last 4 years, the people of Ukraine have been absolutely inspirational. And the Albanese Labor government and the Australian people will stand by their side for as long as it takes.
Hello everybody, it is the 10th of December and guess what, I'm still here, yay! This is really alarming. I'm going to be doing a few short little videos because there's too much to put together. This was announced just in the last few days that Australia, and we know that our Deputy Prime Minister, when he gifted away one of our Nighthawk planes, whatever it was, where I did that video where he was telling Porky Pies that we gave one to Ukraine. No, we gave it away because we can't afford to maintain it. So it was once again a load of lies and deceptive tactics there to make it sound better than what it was and to make us sound better than what we are. You know, we're such a generous country, we give things away. No, we can't maintain things. We're a poor country, we're going broke. That's what it would tell. If he told the truth, hey guys, guess what? We've got these planes, they're really, really important, they're surveillance planes, so we can see who's coming, like maybe boats and that coming. We can see all of this stuff, maybe China's doing things they shouldn't do, we can monitor them. But we don't have enough money to get a crew to get in these planes and have them maintained enough to get them up in the sky so they're not going to fall out and hurt anybody. So to save face, why don't we just give them to Ukraine and we'll get kudos points for that because we're just so kind and generous. We'll just give it to Ukraine. Yeah. What do you reckon? Everyone go, oh, that sounds good to me. Yep, they'll fall for it. Yeah. Duper's delight there. Look at that face. I just want to smack it. He's a lawyer, mind you. And so is his wife, but that's another story and another video that will be coming soon. So this is quite alarming, as I've said before, that we're giving $95 million, because he said in that video that we are in, Deputy Prime Minister Miles, the Department of Defence Minister, oh, we're going to stand by Ukraine, we're going to be there right till the end, we've got your back, we are committed, blah, 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 and all of this rubbish. And so now we've given out all our Bushmasters, we've given away a whole heap of our tanks, we've given away a whole heap of our helicopters, Black Hawk helicopters, we've given away a lot of our military planes. We might have had still some in stock, but we've given surplus ones across. Not that we have any surplus of anything in Australia. Don't you know we're in the middle of a housing crisis and a cost of living crisis and a mass migration crisis and, an infrastructure crisis. We've got everything as a crisis at the moment. People's self-esteem is a crisis. The logic and sanity of people has gone to down the toilet because this government is treating us like mugs, like we're idiots. And to give $95 million to help prosecute the war with Russia, that's lawyer speak, prosecute. I thought it would be defend the war with Russia, not prosecute. That's a legal definition where you're holding someone accountable for something, normally in a legal sense, court of law. So is that what they're using our $95 million for when we've got the lawyer? And his wife is a ambulance chaser lawyer. Yeah, and she's done a lot of work for the military. Yeah, is that a conflict of interest, I have to ask? Is it? I think it is. But, hey, we've got a Prime Minister that had the taxpayers fund his wedding. Yeah. So, hey, nothing to see here. It's all common. We've got our other parliamentarians down in Victoria, or whatever she is, that silly cow, making the state go broke as a premier. So she's a premier. It's different. And then, of course, you've got that silly cow, that woman that spent all that money willy-nilly, flying left, right and centre on these family reunification holidays and all this type of stuff, all on the taxpayers' money. Whoa, holy hell, we're so corrupt here, it's ridiculous. But anyway, as I said, I do go off track a lot, so this is very, very bad. So we're sending all this money, all this military, but the benchmark thing here is by doing all of this, we're cementing ourselves in the conflict. We're not removing ourselves or isolating ourselves, we're putting ourselves right in their head first. But it gets worse, okay? Because as a result of all of this, and the US, Donald Trump, has pulled out from any funding to Ukraine any further. So somebody had to come and be the bunny to keep flogging the dead horse, which turned out to be Australia, because the UK has its own problem. And New Zealand is pretty weak and woke. And of course, you've got all the elitists that have their little mansions and all their plots of land and their underground bunkers, living like hobbits in New Zealand. They can't expect them to pay anything. The amount of people in New Zealand that have jumped ship and come to Australia is ridiculous, because they just don't like the standard of living and what's happening there. So to see all of that is very, very alarming. Now to see the next thing that's actually happening is yes. Australia steps into the arms race with global missile production. Wow. So not only are we giving all of our military equipment that we have here to defend ourselves, things that we've paid, the Australian taxpayer has paid for, and it's ours, and it's just given away like candy. And it's so corrupt and so sinister, and it's meant to make you agitated. I know that, and it is triggering me, I must say that, because I care about things. And now we're building these weapons, and we're cementing ourselves even deeper. We're embedding ourselves. We're no longer on the surface, we're frigging right in it. So if conflict really does kick off with Russia, which they're obviously intending to happen, we've got these missile factories that have been built and set up here in Australia, and the only purpose for these missiles is to send them to Ukraine. That's the only purpose. Honestly, it's the only purpose. It says they blow up bridges, destroy artillery, they're ground launch rockets, and they can go on the back of a truck. Fired from trucks, they can relocate quickly, and firing to avoid being hit by battery fire. So they're quite a good weapon, but they're not something that you just stick in the ground and and it gets an alarm goes off, or it gets set off by something passing your territory, like a scanner or anything. No. It's got to be fired off by a human being. And we are now, and they're being made in South Australia, which is a bit alarming. And what makes it even more curious and comical, which if you ask me, Lockheed Martin is the place in the world, or the company, the military force that they are, turn around and they make them all in America. And they've granted or allowed Australia the sole right to build these missiles here in Australia, because is that meant to instill trust in us or make us feel so special? Oh, we're so privileged. Oh, look, there's only 2 places in the world, and they gave it to Australia. Oh, see the lunacy? That is just like, dumb speak. But very, very alarming, very, very alarming. And so this is all happening. They've already built it. It's up and running. And they're going to have, by Christmas, or by the end of this year, which is in 21 days, sorry, because it's the 10th today, so 21 days, the 31st of December, they would have already sent some of these things out. And then they're going to be doing drones. So then we're going to be doing drones as well. Wow, we're going to do all this stuff. We don't do any of this for ourselves. No, we do it for somebody else. We're so, what's the word? Altruistic, that we'll do it on the goodness of other people at our own detriment. But this factory, the one in South Australia, where all the rare earth mineral deals were done with Donald Trump, what a coincidence, hey? But the factory is actually being built by an Indigenous company. There you go. Intrac. It is here somewhere. Where is it? Hey, This is just a bit of an update on the Intrac, that are the Indigenous company that are building or have built that missile factory in South Australia. I happened to have a look on here and I thought, I wonder if they've got any information, because it's quite an amazing thing that they've been granted this. And I thought I'll go and see if they have any news and media about it. So click on here. And yeah, they've got some articles and everything, and I'm like, oh, where is it? Oh, this one here is from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2022. Where's their news and media about getting this deal? And they've done this thing in 7 months to build this amazing ammunitions factory in South Australia, to send these missiles off to Ukraine. Where's the kudos? Where's their notoriety? Where's their important steps that they've put here? It shows that they don't care. Maybe they didn't even make the stuff. Yeah, Lockheed Martin has never previously allowed. So they've allowed it. Yeah, because they've paid a lot of money. Paid an awful lot of money. Okay, so this has been built by a company called Intrac, who are an Indigenous company in Australia, and they did it within 7 months apparently. So they've done very, very well, and I'm sure that they were very well compensated. Maybe the factory is even on native title land. Maybe that'll put some cujo into things. Very, very, very alarming. But there are two being built. So we've got that one here, which is just for the these guided missiles. Here we go, in Port Wakefield. We've got those, but we also have some other ones being, built as well. Okay, which is not good at all. So when you get down here, hypersonic. Wow, the hypersonic missiles are going to be built in New South Wales, in Newcastle. Another factory is being built near Newcastle to assemble Joint Strike Mission missiles and NATO strike missiles, more powerful weapons with ranges up to 185 kilometres, and it's going to open in 2027. So that's really scary. We're going to have two places here in Australia that are basically making these weapons that will never ever be fired from Australian soil. They'll be put into planes or into boats, into shipping containers, and they'll be sent over to Ukraine. That's what it's all about. I'm trying to find some information out about the hypersonic missiles that are going to be built in New South Wales. As you can see, they're calling it sci-fi because it is very science fiction. It's in Newcastle, which I did think was a mining town. As you can see, these articles are from 4 days ago up to a year and a half ago. It's quite alarming, and I keep saying that. But we've got these deals. Why Canberra is building guided missiles, and this is from a month ago. Sci-Fire and Hypersonic Horizon. Is Australia ready? This one here, China, deploys hypersonic Dark Eagle in Australia. So who deployed this, China or America? The United States has deployed a revolutionary Dark Eagle hypersonic missile. Is this what they're going to be building here? Let's have a look.
The age of hypersonic warfare has arrived in the Pacific as America deploys its most lethal weapon system on Australian soil for the first time. The Dark Eagle missile, capable of striking Beijing from Japan in under 30 minutes, has crossed the ocean as the ultimate warning to Chinese aggression. Simultaneously, Russia and China conduct joint naval exercises, and the US and Australia respond with their own devastating display of military might. And tonight on Gravitas, we are examining how hypersonic missiles are reshaping the strategic balance of power across the Indo-Pacific theater of war.
See, again, she said the Indo-Pacific. as I've said, and I'm going to repeat myself till I'm blue in the face, Australia is not a country anymore. We're not even a continent. We are just a part of the Indo-Pacific region. So we're not special, we're not isolated, we are in bed with everybody else. So if somebody gets herpes, we all get herpes. If somebody gets AIDS, we all get AIDS. And unfortunately, we're disregarded as the financial money makers. We're funding all of this as taxpayers, and it's disgusting. And everybody knows about it, and calling it Dark Eagle. Okay, I'm trying to find out some information about these hypersonic missiles that are going to be built in New South Wales. It's very alarming. I've said that so many times. I wish I had $1 for every time I said it. It's insane. But let's see if we can see anything live here. Follow live, but it's not going to give it to me, is it? I don't have Facebook, so this is just garbage on here. Ladybirds have gathered in Port Gambier. Oh, wow. Look at the beautiful ladybirds. Oh, look how many of them there are. They almost look like snakes on them when they're on a stick like that, don't they? How? Look at that. They're all over the poor gentleman. He's got warts. He's got warts and ladybirds. All the ladybirds are the warts. Ooh. They're just ladybirds on his neck. I thought they were warts or skin cancers, but they're not. They're ladybirds. And they like this man. They like him. Aww. Oh, look at them. They're everywhere. Oh, little darlings. I love ladybirds. Okay, in South Australia, Mount Gambier. Isn't that where that poor little boy went missing that they never found? Pretty much near Mount Gambier. But anyway, we weren't trying to find out about those. It's very interesting, but we were trying to find out about this. Australia's manufacturing live. Okay, can we get it live? Timeline, guidelines. Australia will begin manufacturing multiple rocket things. Yes, we know about all of that. But anyway, so these are the people that are talking about this. Most people working there will be Americans or repats. True. Fireworks will be fantastic. Port Wakefield. Stop spending our money, other people's wars, and look after our own people and housing. Bring back manufacturing here. Yes. See, I'm not the only person saying this. They must be getting their electricity for free or subsidised by South Australians, yes. So people aren't happy about this. I suppose. Okay. Long-range missiles to be... This is from the news, from Channel 7, so this is all real. And that was in August. 24. Wow.
A month after the Australian Navy first test-fired its new naval strike missile, the federal government announces plans to start making the long-range rockets here.
This investment is about keeping Australians safe in an uncertain global environment.
An 850...
I don't believe him then. Yes, if we have these weapons here, if shit heads our way, we've got a way to at least wave a flag or throw a stick at somebody because we don't have anything else. What do we get? Have we got anything to set these missiles off? At least with the guided missiles, you can put them on the back of a truck or on the back of a van, excuse me, and you can send them off that way. But with these hypersonic missiles, which is the ones that we're looking at now, made in New South Wales, and this was back in August last year. This is a year and a half ago. Gee, they keep this stuff silent. As I've said, the karmic law, they have to tell you at least once what they're doing, and so they did back in August last year on the news, and then they never have to mention it again. And it's a naval strike missile, so obviously it's going to be part of the Navy. New South Wales, where it's going to be, is what I understand is where you've got a big mining place there. It's been quite a little quaint little mining facility or town, and it's sort of, they shut down the steelworks there, I'm pretty sure, And I think Silverchair is from there. I think. But anyway, let's see what the rest of this talks about.
$1 million partnership with Norwegian defence giant Kongsberg to set up a factory near Newcastle Airport, manufacturing and servicing the cruise missiles within 3 years, the first time they've been built outside Norway.
Boosting war stocks and becoming increasingly self-reliant.
The factory will make both the Naval Strike Missile and the Joint Strike Missile, which can be fitted to F-35 fighter jets.
They're really designed to take out and target surface ships. They also have a land attack feature as well.
Capable of hitting targets 250 kilometres away, a big step up from the 1970s era Harpoon missiles currently used. When the factory's at full capacity, it'll be churning out around 100 missiles a year, and they don't come cheap. Each one of these is worth about $4 million. But as one of the most advanced strike...
Did you hear that? Each missile is worth $4 million. And this is back in a year and a half ago. So they're probably worth $6 million now with inflation and the cost of machinery and labour. And we're going to be making bucket loads of these. And they're saying that it's for our defence, but that's a load of rubbish. They're all going to Ukraine, guys, because America has pulled out. And they're not funding in any way through ammunitions or for money. They've pulled out all support of Ukraine. They've said enough is enough, and it's time Australia did exactly the same. But when you have the Deputy Prime Minister who is corrupt, who is underhanded, and is in the same mindset as our weak Prime Minister, who had his wedding, didn't tell anybody about it because he knew that the public would have an outcry, and they would be up there and have rallies at his wedding and spoil it because it was paid on the taxpayers' money. And he grew up a housing commission man. So the taxpayer has funded him his entire life, okay? He's never had a decent job. He never had to work at McDonald's. He never had to do a little, like a newspaper run. He never had to rely on pocket money from his parent because he didn't have parents. He only had one parent, a single parent mother in a housing commission. And he's so proudly sprouting that. Like, look where I came from and I've done all of this so you can. Yes, it might be a little bit of inspiration for some people, but to other people like me, it's just a friggin' red flag. Who's proud of being a scumbag their entire life? Leeching off the government their whole life. Yeah, I'm triggered, all right. And I don't like that. Don't like it at all. Okay, we can't justify paying somebody who is chief of the Australian Defence Force, which is vastly smaller and vastly less complex than the United States Defence Force. You can't justify paying them 3 times as much, Senator Shoebridge said. So why is the Australian Minister Defence Force people, why are they paid 3 times more than the US are paid for their job? Because it's blood money. It's like, we'll pay you so much that you want the job and you won't complain and you won't leave. Because it's when people leave, it highlights things. Admiral John Johnson earned nearly $900,000. Where in America, they're only earning $343,000. But you've got to understand, the US 343 is really like about 700 by the time you change the conversion rate across. So it still is excessive though. Very, very excessive. And have the nuclear hypersonic missiles out of New South Wales and guided missiles out of South Australia. It's insane. It's all about money and power, and it's whose back you can scratch and what you get them to owe you. It's like, well, we'll do this for you, but you owe us, okay? And they go, yeah, no worries. I don't like any of this. So to see all of this money being spent frivolously. Yes, some conflicts need to be eradicated and stopped, but it's been going on for 3 years. And now they're going to drag it into the Middle East because there's other articles here. Where can I find it? Where is it? Okay, this is a video I took yesterday. I was inside and I had to go outside because the windows are all dirty. But there was this thing up in the sky, and you'll see it. There. Is that one of those missiles? and it didn't like me focusing on it. Whatever it was attached to it or doing it, as you can see, there's the high rise. And it didn't like me, it kept glitching on me. Is that one of those missiles? I couldn't hear anything and it kept glitching on me all the time. And you know where it's headed for, don't you? The Army Warfare League down there.
Moving very, very fast.
It is moving fast.
We know what it's headed towards, don't we?
So what was it? It wasn't a satellite, it wasn't a comet. Is this one of those missiles?
It's not a meteor.
Is it a missile? Is this them trying to see how they can have them done covertly so that you can't hear them? I want to see if you can hear them at all. Let's do some research. Okay, you've seen it now. I don't need to show you any more on that. Let's see if there's the Dark Eagle. Does it make a noise? Oh God, I hate the way it does that. Hypersonic missiles. Silent. No, they're not silent. They're really quite loud in terms of heat and light signatures. Okay, so it's heat and light. That's why they're so white, because that's the heat and the light. Okay, creating a bright infrared trails and exhaust fumes that are easily detected by satellite. Is that what I've got photo of in that video in southeast Queensland? Is it? Will it show any images? We've got that video from India where the lady posts the video. I think if it was one, it would be one of these white ones. It's not a black one, it'd be a white one. But these look more like spaceships than they do weapons. Showing how fast it goes, like Roger Dodger. Okay, we didn't get any of those flames or anything coming off it, as you saw, but it did have a bit of a flume behind it. So again, I'm not sure exactly what I captured in the sky, whether it was one of these or whether it was just a really freaky cloud. Because as you know, anything's possible in this world. Don't discount anything. But anyway, take care. Bye.
It makes me sick what I do for this shitty planet.